The Las Vegas Raiders just wrapped up an offseason that could reshape their future. They didn't just fill roster gaps, they made bold moves. A new quarterback, a solid guard, a dynamic running back, and yes, speed at wide receiver from the draft, real game changers in the making. But let's talk about what really matters: defense. They added muscle in the form of experienced linebackers and promising corners, building a squad that's hungry, young, and ready to hit hard. Before we dive into the biggest Raiders update, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss a beat on Raider Nation. Now, let's get into it. There's one name every Raiders fan needs to know: Malcolm Koonce. Last season, when he finally got a shot, he exploded. 8 sacks in the back half of 2023. Just when the spotlight found him, it seemed the sky was the limit. Then, the injury came. A knee problem right before the 2024 season. Not a single down played. But instead of walking away, the Raiders did something smart. They believed. Koonce and the front office agreed to a 1-year, $12 million deal. It's a prove-it year, a second chance. And if he stays healthy and performs, he's getting paid. Big. But here's the kicker. The Raiders cannot afford to let him walk. If Koonce delivers again, mark my words. Franchise tag him immediately. Don't wait. Don't gamble. Lock him in. Because this season, it might not be Super Bowl or bust, but it is make or break for the foundation of this team's future. There's a quiet battle brewing in the trenches for the Las Vegas Raiders, and it could shape the future of this offense. Let's rewind to the 2022 NFL Draft. The Raiders picked Dylan Parham in the 3rd round, and many thought he was the next big thing at center. After all, he played the position in college. But instead, Parham spent 3 full seasons starting at guard, and while he wasn't a disaster, he wasn't dominant either. And for a team trying to protect a new quarterback and open lanes for a rising running back, not horrible, just isn't good enough. Parham is gritty, no doubt, but after 3 seasons, there are still questions. Can he anchor the line against powerful rushers? Can he consistently open holes for the ground game? And most importantly, is he really the long-term answer? The timing couldn't be worse for uncertainty. This is his contract year, and right now, there's no guarantee he'll even start. During minicamp, Thayer Munford Jr. took first-team reps at left guard, potentially pushing Parham to the bench. Munford's story is just as fascinating. Drafted in the 7th round that same year, he nearly stole a starting job twice. First, he rotated in with Jermaine Eluemunor. Then last year, the starting role was finally his, until an injury took him out. DJ Glaze stepped in and hasn't let go of the job since. Now, fans expected a showdown between Munford and Glaze for that right tackle spot in training camp. But suddenly, the landscape has shifted. Glaze is locked in, and Munford may be sliding to guard. The offensive line is full of potential. But this is a make-or-break moment for Parham and Munford. Both were once viewed as building blocks. Now, they're fighting for a future in silver and black. The Raiders are watching, and so is the rest of the league. There's something poetic about Thayer Munford Jr.'s journey. A man once projected as a first-round left tackle in 2021, he made an unselfish move, returning to Ohio State and switching to guard when his team needed it most. He didn't just adapt, he thrived, becoming an All-American in a brand new role. Fast forward to now, footage from Raiders minicamp shows Munford getting first-team reps at left guard. And suddenly, it all makes sense. Maybe he was never meant to be a tackle. Maybe Munford was born to dominate the interior line. But here's the real question. Will he still be a Raider after this season? He's not alone in that uncertainty. Jacoby Myers, one of the most dependable hands in the NFL, is also entering a contract year. Many fans are frustrated. They want his extension signed already. After all, he didn't drop a single pass last season. But here's what the Raiders front office is thinking. 1,000 yards, after 6 seasons, is solid, but not quite elite, especially when it just barely crossed the mark. If Myers wants WR1 money, he'll need to go beyond reliable. He needs to become unmissable. And look who's coming up behind him. Trey Tucker and Dante Thornton bring raw speed to the outside, explosive weapons for play action. Then there's Jack Bellinger, the second-round rookie wideout, fighting for snaps. And Tommy Malik, a former quarterback turned slot receiver with 4.3 speed, waiting for his chance to shock the league. He's not alone in that uncertainty. Jacoby Myers, one of the most dependable hands in the NFL, is also entering a contract year. Many fans are frustrated. They want his extension signed already. After all, he didn't drop a single pass last season. But here's what the Raiders front office is thinking. 1,000 yards after 6 seasons is solid, but not quite elite, especially when it just barely crossed the mark. If Myers wants WR1 money, he'll need to go beyond reliable. He needs to become unmissable. And look who's coming up behind him. Trey Tucker and Dante Thornton bring raw speed to the outside, explosive weapons for play action. Then there's Jack Bellinger, the second-round rookie wideout, fighting for snaps. And Tommy Malik, a former quarterback turned slot receiver with 4.3 speed, waiting for his chance to shock the league. Myers may start in the slot for now, but his role is under a microscope, not just because of what he's done, but because of what's coming behind him. And while the receiving core evolves, only one player on the offensive line feels untouchable. Left tackle Colton Miller. Everyone else? They're fighting to prove they belong, not just on the field, but in the future plans of Raider Nation. Colton Miller has heard the noise. After a rough start to the 2023 season, critics were quick to question if he was still the anchor of the Raiders' offensive line. 6 sacks in 4 games. The whispers started fast. But here's what most people missed. Miller wasn't out of shape by choice. He was recovering from shoulder surgery and missed critical offseason work. You can't expect a lineman to dominate in week 1 when he hasn't had a real offseason to prepare. And once he did get his conditioning back, he allowed just 1 sack over the next 13 games. 1. That's elite-level performance. Quiet, consistent, dominant. Yet somehow, doubts still linger. Some say he's lost a step. Others wonder if the Raiders are hesitating because of age or durability. But let's be real. Miller has been a pillar of this franchise since he arrived. The left side has been his territory, and he's held it down. Now, he's approaching a decision point. Should the Raiders re-sign him now before his value skyrockets again? Or should they wait and risk losing him in a market desperate for left tackles? These are the high-stakes choices every new regime must make. And let's not forget, this front office didn't draft Colton Miller. They didn't build that early trust. That's the downside of turnover. Every new leadership group comes in with different standards, different evaluations, different ideas of what their core should look like. But the upside, this regime looks like it's here to stay. And they might finally be building something with longevity. The clock's ticking. Colton Miller has already proven himself. Now it's the Raiders' turn to decide. Are they building around him or letting go of a cornerstone?